Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. Today we have a big news. Isak has asked to leave Newcastle. He has formally requested today that he's wanting to leave Newcastle. You know, this whole transfer saga has been about a lot of players. I think Gyökeres was exceptional. I mean, he was big in the news this transfer window. He had a lot of drama around him, sporting and everything. But the Isak one has just been on for weeks now, and a few weeks, because Gyökeres looks settled. He has been in Arsenal. Now Isak is just saying all of a sudden that he wants to leave Newcastle. I'm like, why didn't Isak say this before Arsenal signed Gyökeres? Why did Isak say this before Liverpool signed Ekitike? I mean, Liverpool even showed Newcastle that they have money. Liverpool was like, we have 120 million British pounds for you guys. Take it. Take it for Alexander Isak. Take the money. Yeah, Liverpool did that. We have that kind of money. But Newcastle were not interested. Newcastle said no. And I know that keeping Alexander Isak would be like signing a new player. Keeping Alexander Isak is equivalent to signing a new player because that's the biggest guy in the club, superstar striker that the whole world wants. Now the question is, where will Isak go? Now the whole thing started with Celtic had a friendly game with Newcastle, where Newcastle lost 4-0. Alexander Isak was in the stadium, but was asked to go home by the manager Eddie Howe, saying because of the too much speculations and transfer, that because of the attention, he wants Isak to stay away from all those drama. That's why he asked him to go back home and not to play. Well, I know you're probably thinking what I'm thinking, that what I just said does not make sense. And that was how I felt when Eddie Howe said so. I was like, what is this guy saying? What kind of flimsy excuse is this? Isak is going to go. Now, can Newcastle pay Isak the money he wants? That's 300k a week. I think they can because Saudi Arabia have money, but they won't. Why? Because there's a way it looks in the dressing room. Imagine you're paying Alexander Isak 300k and you're paying Tonali like 120 or 100k or 150k, paying Bruno Guimaraes, John Linton, I mean Murphy, every other Gordon. As in, they have good players in Newcastle. Then Alexander Isak could not be taking 300k where everybody's on 100 and something k, 120k, 100k, some are even on 50k or 80k a week. So it doesn't make sense if Newcastle pay Alexander Isak that kind of money. It will not be a comfortable dressing room. It will look somehow. So the thing is, where will Alexander Isak go? I think Newcastle has lost him. I don't think they can keep him because after the Celtic game, now they are going to Singapore for friendlies, for pre-season tour, and Alexander Isak is not there. Why? I say he has a thigh injury. What kind of flimsy excuse is that? Somebody that has not been playing ball for a month, although it can happen. I know it can happen. Players get injured even while on holiday. I mean, somebody can be singing in the bathroom and fall. Anything can happen. But it sounds like a very flimsy excuse. That was how we already know that they can't keep Isak. They can't afford to keep Isak. And I know that they have done the hardest part, which was to stay in the Champions League, to qualify for the Champions League. Is like, yeah, Liverpool does not have anything on us. They're in the Champions League. We are in the Champions League, so we can keep our player. But it's much more than that. You need to increase his salary, and he needs to be in a better club that he can win things. I know footballers want to win things. I know he won the Carabao Cup at Newcastle, so I can say Alexander Isak has paid his dues to Newcastle. He's free to go. He doesn't owe them anything. They're paying him 120k a week, and I like his attitude. I like the way Isak has been behaving towards this whole drama. He has been very quiet, neutral. Today is just saying something that he wants to go. So, and he's doing it in a very appropriate way, no going on strike, no drama. So Alexander Isak is a pure professional and is well behaved. So I mean, it's a shame. I just feel bad for Newcastle because they wanted to buy so many players this transfer window. They wanted to buy Mbuemo, they couldn't get him. They wanted to buy João Pedro, they couldn't get him. They even want to buy Trafford. I don't know if they can get him, the goalkeeper. So there are so many players. There are other players I can't mention because I can't remember right now, but Newcastle has lost a lot of players in this transfer window. I mean, players that they want to bring into the club. And getting Alexander Isak to stay is like signing a new player because everybody wants him. I mean, Liverpool offered you 120 million pounds to break British transfer record for him, and they didn't take it. So my guess is that Alexander Isak does not want to go to Arsenal because he could have said something before they signed Gyökeres. Arsenal would have left the Gyökeres deal. I could see the way Arsenal was behaving. They were so sluggish. Like they were waiting for something to happen around Alexander Isak. They wanted to hear like Alexander Isak is available. They would have moved for him. They'll forget Gyökeres. And they paid me for that guy because that brother wants to be an Arsenal player. But the way Arsenal, the attitude Arsenal had towards signing him was very sloppy. So I can say Arsenal does not really want him. But thank God they have each other now because Arsenal needs him. But Arsenal is not acting like they want him. and he wants to be in Arsenal. He wants to play in the Premier League, and he feels like he can win it with Arsenal. And I wish them good luck. I'm an Arsenal fan. Why am I acting so distant? I wish them good luck. I wish us good luck. I wish Arsenal good luck, and I hope we can win things. But today's video is not about him. So let's look at Real Madrid or PSG. I think PSG can get Alexander Isak. They need a striker. They need a number 9 because Dembele is a winger. I know he's doing excellent well in that position, but he's a winger. So this guy Ramos. I'm trying to remember his full name. Is it Gonzalo Ramos? That guy that is from Portugal, that is number 9 for PSG. He's not an out-and-out striker. So PSG needs a striker. Another thing that needs a striker, can I tell you? You want to hear it? Nobody wants to hear it. Why is nobody talking about Real Madrid? Real Madrid needs a striker. I know Mbappe scored, won the European Golden Boot last season, up to 44 goals in a season, and it was considered a flop. But up to 44 goals for a flop, that's the best flop in the whole wide world. So, but what I'm talking about Real Madrid now, someone who's wondering why is what this guy saying Real Madrid has never been linked to Alexander Isak. But let's look at it this way. Yesterday evening, did you see the report that Kylian Mbappe will take over Luka Modric's jersey, which is the number 10 jersey? Yet, so who's that number 9 meant for? Don't you find it a coincidence that number 9 jersey was worn by Mbappe yesterday, and just yesterday towards the night, it was announced that Mbappe will be new number 10 player, no more number 9. So who do you think is worthy enough to wear that number 9 jersey for Real Madrid? The Royal Madrid. I think it's Alexander Isak. I don't think Alexander Isak will go to Saudi Arabia. I don't think players are biting that for the money. I don't think people want to leave Europe. I think Alexander Isak does not want to be in England, meaning he doesn't want to play against his former club, sorry, his current club. He doesn't want to play against Newcastle. He doesn't want the situation whereby he has to score goals against Newcastle. So I think he wants to leave the Premier League. I think he wants to go to either La Liga or Ligue 1. And I think he would go to Real Madrid. What am I saying? This is probably the dumbest analysis you've ever heard in your life. But take it from me, if it happens, then that means I'm a genius. But I just feel like, who is worthy enough to wear that number 9 jersey at Real Madrid that Mbappe is dropping? Because I was thinking maybe he'll take number 7 and Vinicius will go. But Vinicius is clearly in Xabi Alonso's plan. The only person who is suffering that is Rodrigo, will be out soon. So if Mbappe is number 10, who will be number 9? And I just don't think it's a coincidence that Isak is saying today that he will be leaving Newcastle. But Liverpool is still in the race. Liverpool still wants him. Let's see what will happen. So I said he didn't go to the prison store. See, thigh injury, flimsy excuse. Yeah, what else is here about Isak? Okay, 300k a week. I talked about it. Newcastle. Okay, Newcastle now seeking replacement for Alexander Isak. Newcastle, who would they go for? I'm hearing Openda from Leipzig, but I don't think it's the guy. Alexander Isak's shoes is just too big to fill. I feel like the perfect striker for Newcastle would have been Hugo Ekitike, and I feel like they should have settled for him and they should have left Isak for Liverpool. Now they'll find it difficult because they can't keep Isak and they don't have Hugo Ekitike. And Liverpool has space. Liverpool has space for Isak because Darwin Núñez is not in an slot plan. It's not doing the job. He has to go. You could get 50 million for him. I know they're asking for 70 million, but who will pay 70 million pounds for Darwin Núñez? Maybe. We'll never know. So 50 million go. And Luis Diaz, Bayern Munich wants to pay about 80 million euros for him. Second bid. You know, 67.5 million pounds was rejected. So they want to try 80 million euros. Should have tried 80 million pounds. I think Liverpool will definitely sell him for 80 million pounds. So if Luis Diaz goes and Darwin Núñez goes, they have enough money to still buy Alexander Isak. And every big club needs 2 strikers, except Arsenal that struggle to buy 1 striker after 3 years. So how will we think that they'll get 2 strikers? So I know that level yet. So who will be the replacement for Alexander Isak? So I'm thinking is Jan Wissa, the Brentford striker. Brentford does not want him to go. He has a year left on his contract. Brentford wants to sell him for about 40 million pounds. So, and he's keen on leaving Brentford. He wants to go. He wants to earn higher. I mean, that brother is earning about 25,000 pounds every week. That's small for a Premier League player. I mean, if he deserves 120, 150k a week, I think he's worth it. He scored 19 goals last season in the Premier League, 5 assists. Very good striker. Him and Mbuemo lit up Brentford. So I think Alexander Isak will not go to Saudi Arabia, and I think Jan Wissa is the best replacement. And Isak does not want to go to Liverpool or Arsenal because he had the chance. He just stayed quiet until until Arsenal and Liverpool were settled with their striker. So more news, more news, more news, more news. That's it with Isak. Now, guys, do you notice that the top four in the Premier League, that is Liverpool, Arsenal, who's number three? Man City and uh, Newcastle. What am I saying? Newcastle. Chelsea. The top four has spent up to £1 billion. I mean, if you combine the remaining 16, they have not even spent that amount. I'm not sure they have spent up to maybe half of that amount. Because the only people that are trying is Tottenham. Tottenham is trying, although they have the Gibbs White battle that has not been settled with Nottingham Forest. That's a story for another day. And Manchester United have signed Cunha and Obuemo. So those are the other two that are trying. Apart from these two, it's been quiet. I think Villa has been quiet. It even took time for Newcastle to come into the party, and now that they're finally here, they are losing their best player. So the top four is spending £1 billion, and with that, you can say that the Premier League is already gone. It's not like last season that everybody was beating everybody, and Liverpool was just doing well except every other person. So this season, I think the gap between the top four and other clubs from number 5 to 20 will be very, very far. Just the title race between Liverpool, Arsenal, Chelsea, and Man City. I don't even think Manchester City are in the title race. I don't think Manchester City is good enough. So that's it. 1 billion. Wow, I think this is the best summer transfer window ever. It's so cool. Business is done. Last summer transfer window was so dry. January transfer window was so dry. But in this summer, I think January transfer window, the people who are won was even Aston Villa. And Aston Villa now is trying to comply with PSR. So I think they're staying quiet. So that's it on the £1 billion spending and who wins the Premier League next season. Then Joel Hato to Chelsea. Wow, Chelsea is going for the centre back from Ajax. He can play centre backs, he can play left back, and they are serious. The player wants to go to Chelsea, and is evaluated around €40 million. And we'll see how it goes. Ashley Young is now an Ipswich player. This is just more news. I've already talked about Bayern Munich preparing an €80 million bid for Luis Diaz. Then okay, what is it? Okay, Arsenal are still in contact with Izzy's camp. I can't see my own handwriting sometimes. Then Son to the MLS. What do you think, guys? Son MLS. He's following Tottenham to the preseason tour in Asia. I know Son is an Asian, so he's loved in Asia. So I think that's for PR and just for publicity. And after then, he might probably leave Tottenham. But we have not heard from Son. We don't know if he wants to go or just observe him. But he's likely to go to the US of A to play football. Then, but I was hoping you go to Saudi. Let him go to Saudi and collect that money. Can Americans pay that kind of money? Who knows? Yeah. That's it on Talking Football Daily. I'm your host Kennedy. Or you can call me Kiza Ken. That's my nickname, Kiza Ken. How come I've never said it here? Okay, you can call me Kiza Ken. Welcome to the show. Bye bye. Thank you for watching. Not welcome. And don't forget to like, share the video, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much. Comment too. Bye bye.